Watching the A's play baseball is like watching the movie Groundhog Day, except without any of the comedic elements, none of the character development, and instead of making you feel happy, it just makes you feel sad.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Locked On A's, welcome to the show. At the end of the show, we're going to go over my jersey collection. A lot of you have asked about it. I'm finally going to show you the full collection. Before that, I'm going to tell you why Lawrence Butler has got to go right away. I'm done with him. Ship him off. First and foremost, though, let's talk about the game. A's lose to the Royals 9-7 in a game that I feel like I've seen many times. And I know I have because the A's currently have, I believe, the second worst bullpen ERA in baseball. They have some of they're top three right now in most blown saves. They've given up 106 runs in the eighth inning this year in only 127 games. And by golly, if this isn't the worst collection of relievers I've ever seen in my life, for the second straight evening and for the, 50th time, probably an exaggeration, but honestly, hard to say, the A's have blown a lead and blown a chance to win a game. This time, it was the eighth inning, again, that was the cause of most of the A's troubles, and it was Hayden Juenger, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know. Jenny and Dallas had me all confused. And Drew Rom, who ended up being the villains. Villains isn't the right word. It's more like ended up being the cartoon supervillains who are incapable of doing anything right. That's what they were today. Drew Rom won an inning. He gave up 4 earned runs. He looked like the most hittable person I've ever seen. I'm convinced that a JC lineup could have hit him today. And he wasn't even throwing strikes. Like, he gave up 2 walks. Literally, the Royals were just standing there waiting for him to throw a strike, and as soon as he throw him a strike, they just nailed it. Juenger, this dude's horrible. He's got a 7.98 ERA. He also couldn't get anyone out today. None of these guys missed any bats. I think all the outs in the eighth inning. In fact, let's look at it. Let's look at it just so we know for sure, because I'm pretty sure all of the outs in the eighth inning, not the many, many hits, not the carousel of runs that we saw, all of the outs in the eighth inning, I think were line drives. Carter Jensen, he flew out to Henry Bolte. That was a long fly ball, so that might as well be a line drive. Isaac Collins with a long fly ball to Henry Bolte. That could have been a home run on a different night. And then a lineup by Vinny Pasquantino. Yeah, the 3 outs in this inning, in this eighth inning, were darn near either a home run or taking someone's face off. Other than that, it was all hits. The A's ran out Juenger and Drew Rom, and they literally did not have a single at-bat in this eighth inning where they looked competitive. And folks, you've heard my rants. You've heard them all. You've heard all the rants. You've heard me talk about how bad this bullpen is. And, I could start my rant on Lawrence Butler right now, but I got to save it for the next segment. But as far as this bullpen goes, where do you start? Like, we talk about how we want the A's to improve, right? We talk about how we want the A's to be better in 2027. And, you look at their position player group and you think, yeah, this team is in a pretty good spot. Even if you look at their starting group, heck, you got JT Ginn, Gage Jump, you got Jacob Lopez, Jamie Arnold on the way. Who knows? Luis Severino may have a renaissance next year. Even the starting pitching, I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here all rosy-eyed about the starting pitching, but it could be worse. I literally don't know how the bullpen, this bullpen could get any worse. Literally. None of these guys should be in the major leagues. Literally none of them. The only guy I think maybe is Luis Medina, just because he's got good stuff. But other than that, literally none of these guys should be major league pitchers. The A's have a collection of relievers who are all minor league pitchers. That's where we're at right now. And where do you start? It's not even like you have a good building block in the bullpen. There is literally nobody in this bullpen did I have any positive things to say about, aside from the fact that Luis Medina has good stuff. That's the only positive thing I have to say about anyone in this bullpen. How do you fix something when there's like literally nobody to even build upon? There's not even a foundation. There damn near might not even be a plot of land to build on. How do you build something with these guys? How do you improve for next year? The only way this bullpen is any good next year is if they literally just get rid of everyone and start new. But is that even realistic? Like, is that even realistic that we can expect the A's to do that? I don't know. Into the 6th inning against one of the worst teams in baseball. If the A's were not in this game and any other team was playing the Royals, almost every other team would have a better record than them. The Royals are horrible. They're one of the biggest disappointments in baseball, not just last year, but this year. Quatraro's going to get fired, at least he should. They're wasting Bobby Witt's prime. This Royals team is yet 2 straight nights. The A's bullpen have made them look like the 27 Yankees. This Royals team is a disaster. If you went to Locked On Royals right now and you looked at most of their videos this year, you'd see a whole lot of rants like I've had. This Royals team's horrible. And the A's have allowed them to come back, and not just come back, but do so in pretty jarring, dominant fashion in the late innings the last 2 games. The A's are up 5-1 on the Kansas City Royals. The last place, Kansas City Royals. The A's are up 5-1 heading into the 6th. By some miracle, Jeffrey Springs had a good start. And the A's led a team that only has 2 hitters with an above-average OPS in their entire lineup. 2 hitters with an above-average OPS who have actually been the entire year, not just minor league guys who are having a flash in the pan. Caglione and Witt, the only 2 hitters on this team who are above average. They let that team storm back and score 7 runs in the 8th inning to beat them. The A's didn't blow a 5-1 lead to the Yankees. They didn't blow a 5-1 lead to the Rays. It wasn't a blown 5-1 lead to the White Sox. It wasn't even a blown 5-1 lead to the Astros. It wasn't the Dodgers. It wasn't the Brewers. It wasn't the Braves. It wasn't the Padres. It was the 54-74 Kansas City Royals, who the A's bullpen made look like they were the best offense in baseball. This is a new low. I didn't know we could go lower. I really didn't. And now the A's are going to have to avoid a 4-game sweep to the dreadful Kansas City Royals. The good news for the Royals is that the A's are the only team more dreadful than they are. What else is there to say? What else is there to say? I mean, there were positives in this game. That's also what's frustrating. I mean, Jeffrey Springs came back. He looked decent. 5 2/3. He gave up a couple of earned runs. I mean, he looked more like the Jeffrey we saw at the beginning of the year than the Jeffrey Springs before he got hurt. And maybe it was the injury. I don't know. That was causing him to struggle so much. You take a look at the offense here today. Jeff McNeil continues to ball out. Jeff McNeil, who over his last 7 games is now hitting 400. Over his last 15 is hitting 360. He's got an OPS over 1,000 in his last 7 games, damn near 1,000 over his last 15. So that's good. Zach Gelof continues to look really good. Henry Bolte looked good today. He had an RBI. Max Muncy hit a very impressive homer in garbage time at center field. There are some positives in this game, just as there have been positives all season amongst the position player group. There's a lot of positives that we can talk about amongst the position player group. And this offense isn't bad. They're middle of the road in Major League Baseball in almost all ranks, even with their 5 best hitters all hurt. But time and time again, the position player group gets let down by this bullpen. And folks, I'm a pretty open-mouthed guy. I like to say what I think. If I were in that A's clubhouse and I were one of those position players, it's a little different now because a lot of these guys are replacement level. But if I were Nick Kurtz, if I were Tyler Soderstrom, if I were Jacob Wilson, I would right now be lighting those guys up. I'd be throwing trash cans. I'd be pushing guys against lockers. Because at the end of the day, this is professional sports. In professional sports, you're getting paid a lot of money to do a job. And this A's bullpen isn't just not doing their job. They are horrendously failing at their job in every single aspect. Speaking of a guy who is horrendously failing at his job in every single aspect, we're going to talk about Lawrence Butler. If you've got a sweet tooth like I do, you know how tough it is to find that perfect treat without all the sugar. That's why the Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shot brings that nostalgic flavor back in a whole new way. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots treat your taste buds to an explosion of fruity flavor with a tasty caffeine kick. It's a quick, easy way to satisfy that sweet craving while keeping things simple and on the go. You know, look, I'm a guy who I need a little pick-me-up in the afternoons, whether it's coffee or whether it's something else. And 5-Hour Energy is one of those things that is absolutely perfect, easily packable. If you're in the afternoon and you're starting to feel those afternoon sleepies, 5-Hour Energy supplies you with the perfect amount of caffeine and a nice little treat so that you can get through the day and get through the day productively. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Nothing like watching an A's game. There's nothing like it, folks. There's nothing like it. Even better when you get to watch it live. The excitement, that's one word for it, the fans. The only problem, getting tickets can feel like a grind. Long queues, surprise fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's where there's Game Time. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's simple to use. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. I've talked many times in the show about how much I love Game Time. It's the place I go when I'm looking for last-minute tickets or just tickets in general. I've got concert tickets. I've gotten game tickets. And they're so transparent about their pricing and about their seating. It just makes the process so easy. 2 taps and it's done. No stress, no hidden fees, just great seats in minutes. That's what makes it so easy to decide last minute to hit a game. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Lawrence Butler today in the 8th inning, at the beginning of the inning, the thing that set the tone for the entire implosion from the A's, allowed a ball to get past him in the outfield and right field. He came in, got caught in no man's land, did a little and the ball got past him. If that wasn't bad enough, then Lawrence Butler starts jogging like he's doing a cool down or something after a workout. And Henry Bolte got on his horse, because Henry Bolte actually cares, and sprinted from center into right center to save Lawrence Butler's bacon and grab the ball and get the ball into the cutoff man. Now, look, if this was a one-off thing, I'd probably let it go. Maybe just talk about it a little bit in the podcast, give a little critique. But this isn't a one-time thing. Lawrence Butler has proved to me that he is the worst type of professional athlete, and that is entitled and lazy. Lawrence Butler is lazy. He's an entitled, lazy baseball player, find the right word there, who right now is being paid goo-gogs of money to be maybe the worst player in the position group on the A's team. He's been awful all year, folks. He's been horrible. He's been straight garbage is what he's been. An OPS under 600 all season long. It took him till, I think, July to get his average over 200. And as we sit right now, Lawrence Butler is hitting 214 with a 660 OPS. Yet the A's keep on running him out there in right field because John Fisher and the A's brass do not want to admit that when they finally started shelling out money, they gave it to the worst possible guy. Now, I have some advice for the A's front office and the A's brass, and that's to, no matter what it takes, get rid of this guy because Lawrence Butler is not a winning player. Lawrence Butler jogs to first on ground balls. Lawrence Butler, when he hits a ball in the air, is more concerned about how good his bat flip looks than hustling out of the box to try to get extra bases. And it's cost to the A's in games this year. Lawrence Butler in right field is only interested in making highlight reel plays. But if it's an actual play that has to do with fundamentals and has to do with hustle, he doesn't care. And that's what we saw in the game today. Lawrence Butler doesn't care. He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about putting his best foot forward. He doesn't care about trying to represent the franchise that gave him life-changing money in the best possible way. In fact, since Lawrence Butler has gotten that contract, Lawrence Butler has represented the A's franchise in the worst possible way. And that is by being lazy and being entitled. Lawrence Butler this year, I think, has come up with more home run celebrations and more extra base hit celebrations than he actually has home runs. He loves putting up that 4. He loves all the different dances. He loves having 4 different walk-up songs. And yes, he had 4 different walk-up songs last year for each different at-bat. I don't know what it is this year, but I assume it's not that much different. Lawrence Butler is more concerned about all the cool swag he's got on than being a good baseball player. And if you go interview this man in post-game press conferences, and he's literally said this to my face, he will sit down while everyone else stands up because he wants to be like LeBron. He wants to be like Anthony Edwards and sit down and let the media come to him. Well, you know what, Lawrence Butler? Maybe when you actually do something at the major league level, you can do that. Because right now, you are one of the most disappointing players in all of Major League Baseball, and maybe one of the worst contracts in Major League Baseball. And if the A's want to move on, and if the A's want to be a better team next year than they were this year, they would get rid of you. Because guys like Lawrence Butler have no place in winning clubhouses. Guys like Lawrence Butler are reasons that teams lose, not reasons that teams win. Can you think, I guarantee you, there are thousands upon thousands of young men out there who would just give everything. They would give their lives to be in Lawrence Butler's position, making millions of dollars to play baseball. I guarantee you there's thousands of people out there who would have busted their butt to try to get that ball in right center field late in the game, in a close game. No matter what the records are, there are thousands of guys out there who would have busted their behind to try to get that ball. Bring one of those guys in. I don't care what the talent is. I want guys on my team who care. I don't care if it's high school. I don't care if it's college. I don't care if it's professional. If you're on my team and you don't care, I don't want you on my team. And Lawrence Butler doesn't care. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing that makes me more mad as a sports fan and as someone who just wants to be successful so bad than watching someone who doesn't care have a spot and have a chance and a platform when someone who does care doesn't. So I challenge the A's, get rid of Lawrence Butler. I'm done with him. This right here is more vitriol than I had for Luis Severino. And I don't like Luis Severino either. Luis Severino complains, but at least when he's pitching, I think he's trying. There are moments where Lawrence Butler has literally been out there, and I don't know if he's trying or not. And he's got to go. Let's lighten the mood a little bit, folks. I got a fun jersey collection to show you. Can we talk about one of the most underrated organs in your body? Your liver. It's your body's filter processing everything you consume and performing more than 500 functions every day. It's involved in things like energy production, digestion, fat metabolism, and vitamin storage. So it's doing a lot of work behind the scenes. That's why giving your liver daily support can be an important part of building healthy habits. Dose for your liver is a clinically backed liver health supplement designed to support daily liver function. Unlike another capsule or powder, Dose comes as a liquid 2-ounce daily shot that tastes like fresh squeezed orange juice. It's 0 sugar, 0 junk, and 0 calories, making it an easy addition to your daily routine. One of my daily routines, in fact, my main daily routine that I love is going on a run every day. And I can proudly say that it's been 8 straight weeks of at least 6 runs a week, even when I go down and get road rashed. And Dose is a similar type of concept. Something that you can add to your daily routine that's going to make you feel better. It's going to help your health. And just overall going to give you that security in the back of your head that you eat something for yourself, something good for yourself that day and every day. Ready to give your or enter Locked On MLB to get 35% off your first subscription. It is so much for you. Let's do something for it. That's dosedaily.co/LockedOnMLB for 35% off your first month subscription. All right, so for those of you who have been watching the show all year long, I wear a lot of jerseys, and I have a lot of jerseys, and I have all the jerseys right here. I'm going to run them through them real quick because I thought this would be a fun ending to what's been a very intense show. I get a jersey. I try to get a jersey for every major city I've been to. Now, it's not a complete collection yet. I'm working on it, but I do have quite a few of the cities I've been to. So let's start. This is a Carlos Correa Twin Cities jersey from my time in Minnesota. Pleasanton, man, even though he's a Giant, still an East Bay guy. This is a Brandon Crawford Giants City Connect jersey. There you can see Crawford on the back. Chicago, I've been to Chicago a couple times. One of my favorite cities. This is a DeMar DeRozan Bulls jersey. The Bay Area. My favorite Warriors jersey. This is a Steph Curry, the Bay jersey. One of my favorite players ever, just because I love the way he hustled. The opposite of Lawrence Butler. A Hunter Pence Giants jersey. This is a Steph Curry Warriors jersey. Just the normal one. Normal road blue. Wore this yesterday. One of my favorites in my collection. A Ramon Laureano Oakland jersey. I had to get one for LA, but I hate the Dodgers, so this was kind of a default. I don't wear it much. Paul George Clippers jersey. Thought it was funny because Pandemic P. Am I right? All right, this is a cool one. This is for the Cusco soccer team in Cusco, Peru. Nice picture of Machu Picchu on there. That's their main thing, Machu Picchu tourism. Another Twins jersey. I got a lot of free stuff when I work for the Twins, which, I'm not complaining about. This is, if I can get my hand around it, Byron Buxton, Minnesota jersey. Wore this the other day. This is an Olympic Lyonnais soccer jersey for Lyon. I studied abroad in Lyon, France. Know a little French. That one is a special one to me. Haven't worn this one yet. Just got it, actually. This is a Real Madrid jersey. Been to Madrid once. Had a great time. Highly recommend. Richard Sherman's Seahawks jersey. This is a deep cut. I hate the Seahawks, actually. I'm a 49ers fan, but I was in Seattle. Someone gave me the jersey. He's a former Niner, so I kept it. The only jersey I've actually competed in, this is my Seattle Pacific track jersey. Ran a couple of races in that in college. This is the Boca Juniors in Buenos Aires, Argentina's top soccer team. Game 6 Clay, am I right? Clay Thompson, road blue jersey. This jersey I think I look the best in, actually, surprisingly. Oakland's best, Damian Lillard. Got a Dame Lillard Blazers jersey. Blazers are my second favorite team in the NBA. I love the city of Portland a lot. I've said it before on the show, but if I had to live anywhere else but the East Bay, it'd be the Pacific Northwest. All right. Alianza, the top soccer team in Lima. How about that jersey? Another one for my Minnesota time. Karl Anthony Towns, Minnesota Timberwolves jersey, because when I play basketball, I'm a stretch big just like Cat. All right. We got ourselves a Vancouver Grizzlies Mike Bibby jersey that I bought in Vancouver. One of my favorites. Another Klay Thompson jersey because my girlfriend and my uncle both bought me Klay Thompson jerseys for Christmas this year because I put it on my list. This one's just in a different font, though. I actually really like this one, too. Let's see. Get around it. Warriors got to bring back Klay for another year. Maybe my favorite jersey in the collection. This is a authentic Minnesota Twins Kyle Morrison jersey. That's right, folks. They give it to me. There's the Morrison. Let's see if I can. There we go. For 2024, when I worked for the Minnesota Twins, love that jersey. Just got this one as well. Been to Philadelphia once. This is the Joel Embiid Philadelphia 76ers jersey. The first jersey of my collection. This is a Kevin Durant Christmas jersey. I used to play pickup basketball in this all the time. And the last few jerseys here are going to be KD jerseys. Love watching him play. This is a Kevin Durant Supersonics jersey. This was my grad gift when I graduated. This is a great jersey. I love this one. I always get compliments on it. All right, and then the last one that's present here, this is a KD Phoenix Suns jersey. I went to Phoenix once for spring training, needed a Phoenix jersey. There you go. Jersey's not pictured that I've misplaced. It's been a while at my house because my mom unfortunately passed away, and so we've been moving stuff around. I have a De'Aaron Fox Sacramento Kings jersey, which I think is just kind of funny. And then I have a Kevon Looney Warriors jersey, which I absolutely love as well. Kevon Looney was one of my favorite players when he was with the Warriors because he's one of those guys I just talked about that Lawrence Butler is not, which is someone who hustles, does all the little things, always tries to help the team win. I have some other jerseys on the way. I have a Damian Lillard Milwaukee Bucks jersey. I've been to Milwaukee, so that'll be my Milwaukee one. I have a Tracy McGrady Toronto Raptors jersey, which I'm very excited about. I've been to Toronto. I want to go back, but that's going to be a fun one. And then the other one is I have a Brooklyn Nets Kevin Durant jersey. So a KD Brooklyn Nets jersey. I have also been to New York. I didn't want to get a Knicks jersey, though. Brooklyn's a great neighborhood in New York. That's where I've stayed, so decided to get a Brooklyn Nets jersey. Looking for a Washington jersey, looking for an Atlanta jersey. I've been to both those two cities. So put it in the comments. What should I get? What should I get? Denver jersey as well. If you have suggestions for a Denver jersey, I'll also take those. All right, folks, one more show this week. We'll see if the A's can salvage a game against those darn Royals. Better not let the bullpen have anything to do with it.